Sup, dudes? Welcome back to the Friday podcast. This is the third episode. Yeah, as you may have already noticed, we're not going with the whole actually uploading it on a Friday because it just doesn't work out with our schedules. I didn't really think that aim through. Anyway, I'm gonna try and keep it under half an hour in this episode. Just because having them for an hour, it's a little straining on the attention span. So yeah. So, in this episode, it's just Gareth and I.
What's up, my meanies?
Self-censoring. And in this, we're going to be talking about two things. One is somewhat controversial, depending on if you are closed-minded. And the second one, well, it's just, cartoons. That straight up. Alright, so the first topic for this episode is... was it in New South Wales that was actually legalized?
I think so. Oh, yeah, I think it's just medical, but yeah. I think in New South Wales.
Well, over in the eastern states of Australia, I'm just going to Google it now. Yeah. In the eastern states, well, New South Wales. Okay. So, yeah. I'm reading this thing now. Medical marijuana has been legalized in New South Wales. And what does that entail? Well, I'm just going to have a quick read of the article, so if you want to give your opinion on whatever while I read through it.
My opinion on it, I think it's good. I mean, I don't see what the big deal is anyway, if that, it not being used for medical purposes anyway, in my opinion. I don't particularly use it myself, but I don't really see the what's the word? I just don't understand why it's illegal, to be honest. I mean, it's kind of like alcohol to me. I mean, they both can fuck you up pretty badly anyway, so it's either I feel like alcohol should be illegal or...
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I know.
Didn't work, mate.
I know, but marijuana should be legalized normally, so... Either, really. Just tax the shit out of it.
I've been reading this article, and by reading it, I mean I looked at the first two paragraphs and thought, right, I'm fully informed about the ins and outs. So, my opinion, basically the same as what Gareth said. I agree that I don't see why it's why there's still such a stigma. Why it's you hear the word marijuana and people think criminal and all that, or degenerate. Like Gareth said, he doesn't do it. Neither do I. That's just a choice we've made. But the problem is that it gets treated, like just a horrible thing. But realistically, it works similar to alcohol. If you have a certain amount of it, you get a high, or, alcohol gets you drunk. But the thing is, it's such a weird stigma to have because alcohol, it can... and both of them can lead to addiction, but with alcohol, it can make you do worse things quicker, whereas no one, well, to my knowledge, that there's never been any car crashes from people that were driving while high.
Oh, no, there has been, definitely. There definitely has been sometimes. I don't know any cases off my top of my head, but there would be easily, no doubt.
Point being... it's incredibly rare. And, I haven't even touched the topic of making it medical and all the medical benefits that it could potentially have, because I wanted to talk about the stigma first. And that, the legalization, I think it should be for recreational use as well, because alcohol, it's a stupid thing. when you think about it. It's a slow working poison that inhibits your motor functions and then the rest of your body. So and people, it's sold in shops for recreational use everywhere around the world. So I just don't understand it. But regarding the medical side, there's been studies done that show that it can help with things like post-traumatic stress disorder. There's the whole thing where apparently it can help, like, make... I think it can make the process of going through chemotherapy easier. And there's also the studies and all that say that people with chronic pain, it takes the edge off. So for medical purposes, 100%, go for it. Recreational, it depends. If you're going to be an idiot, and put yourself, well, it doesn't matter if the person's doing it or not. But what I think is stupid is when people put other people's lives in danger due to reckless behavior. Like people that get drunk and intentionally drive, knowing that they're not in a condition to drive. Like, same as a person who would get high and then get in a car, not fully being able to drive normally. So, yeah. I can't remember what it is, but there was a thing in the 80s where... Have you seen Dallas Buyers Club?
That's the one with Matthew McConaughey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, but I've heard of it.
Basically, it's about a guy who found out he had AIDS, and this is in the 80s. This was just as they found out that straight people can also get HIV. I think it was HIV or AIDS, one of the two. The disease that gives you the virus. But he started taking all these vitamins and stuff, and I think it was I can't remember what they're called, but it's an American thing that basically says what you can and can't use as medicine. And they had a big court case against him for it, and he won the court case. And what he did was he made it so that there was he made it so that in situations where people were using things purely for self-medication, that it was legal. So there was a case in Australia a few years back where these parents were, I think it was their son or daughter, like a little boy or girl that had this, I think it was some chronic illness or chronic pain.
Oh,
and they were just using cannabis oil to help take the edge off. And, obviously the kid's getting a little bit trippy, probably because of the THC. But, do you know how many, painkillers and cold and flu tablets knock people out? I just don't understand the stigma. So many pharmaceutical drugs and, other drugs like alcohol, they have a similar effect, but they don't carry the same stigma. I just don't get it. So I think it's cool that New South Wales have made, using cannabis for medical purposes legal, because for a lot of people, all the chemical treatments, all the pills and stuff just don't work.
Yeah.
Especially for people with depression, more often, well, I don't know if it's more often than not, but I've heard horror stories where antidepressants have actually made people worse. Columbine. So yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Sorry, I'm just saying a message, sorry.
Oh, you absolute potato. No, who are you messaging?
Who do you think?
You need to tell them
Shut the fuck up, Jakeb.
No personal messages during business hours.
Oh, fuck.
I'm so glad I bought this bottle of water in my room. Because when I talk a lot, I get dry mouth really bad. Even when I'm not even talking. I just
Sorry,
go
I did
outside,
too.
I see people, and I get dry mouth because I'm socially retarded. Anyway, are you ready to move on to the cartoon topic?
Fuck off! My dogs are barking. One sec. Let me just get them to stop.
Tell him that Jakeb said woof.
I told them that.
All right, cheers. They stopped. I think they get
Yeah.
it. I think they understand that we're recording a podcast. Double throat clear.
Yep.
Didn't work.
All right. Go.
Oh, I thought you were going to start this topic because it was you that
Oh,
had
man,
the idea.
if you want me to,
Yeah, go for it.
I just wanted to have a debate about what we reckon the best Cartoon Network shows are back from when we used to watch it.
Well, I'll be the first to say that I didn't watch as many cartoons and all that as, you or Caleb.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones you mentioned, I didn't even know were a thing. I didn't even know they existed. But to me, I don't really have a top three. I've got a top two, and that's
Yeah.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Actually, no.
okay.
Okay, top three: Ed, Ed, and Eddie, SpongeBob, and the original Ben 10 series. For
All
me,
right,
they were the top three.
let's stick with just Cartoon Network though, because that was the pinnacle of all cartoons.
Okay, yeah.
So you have two there. I want to say Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. What else is there? Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah.
Ben 10 as well, because I love Ben 10.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, man.
It was so good, eh?
Oh, cheese was my main.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah, I can't even remember what all the main characters look like now. Like I know that I can only remember like what three of them look like off the top of my head.
I can remember well because I remember I watched like season 1 like a few months ago.
All right, well that's good for you. But nah,
Yeah, pretty much.
in regards to which one's the best out of those three,
I'm gonna say we had four. We had four mentioned.
did you?
Yeah, Foster's Home, Ben 10, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Billy and Mandy.
Oh, Billy and Mandy. Well, Billy and Mandy always creeped me out, so I never really watched it.
Oh, you fucking loser! That was oh god, that was my favorite. I loved it. Codename Kids Next Door as well.
Oh my, okay. See, it's been so long since I've watched these shows, I can't even remember what I used to watch, but Codename Kids Next Door, I think that was actually, for me, that was ranked above Ben 10, so that's like, that would have to be my 2. Ed, Ed and Eddie would be my 1. K&D would be my 2.
Okay, mine probably go Billy and Mandy, Ben 10, Ed, Ed and Eddie. Ed, Ed and Eddie, then Foster's Home. What else did I watch? I watched, do you watch Cow and Chicken?
No.
Oh, I loved Cow and Chicken. What else? There was something else. Samurai Jack?
I never really watched it, but I do remember what it was.
I watched it a little bit. What about Johnny Bravo?
No.
I love Johnny Bravo. That was great.
No, like, when I got Foxtel for the first time, so I could start watching cartoons, it was after the point where a lot of the original Cartoon Network shows had been moved to Boomerang.
Yeah.
So, like Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, or Laboratory, however you, if you pronounce it like an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all gone to Boomerang, and because for me, I preferred watching Cartoon Network because all of the stuff I liked was on there. I didn't want to have to change channel just to watch something that I may or may not like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I just thought of this question as you were saying all the shows you watched. Do you have any, like, specific memories of really trippy moments where you remember watching one of those cartoons? Like, for me, I was on a plane. Like, I'd just gone from Perth to Sydney. And
Yeah.
I think I was going from Sydney to I can't remember where it was, but I'd gone on 2 planes in 24 hours, and I was already jet lagged after the first flight because I hadn't slept in like nearly a day. And so I was just on this plane spacing out like you would not believe. Like, you know when you get like fatigue and like it feels like you're part, like I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're part of the environment. It's like you're not in the environment, you feel like you're part of it. And then when someone talks to you, it just feels like they're looking through you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like that like long before the second flight. So by the time I got on there, you know, and we took off at midnight. So I was already completely gone, but I couldn't sleep because I can't sleep on planes.
Yeah, neither do I.
And I think we were flying business class or something, but we had I'm not sure if it was Foxtel, but it was something like that. And you'd swipe a credit card, and you'd have access to all these channels. And so I remember like just seeing an episode of Ren and Stimpy, and because of that, like I don't know how to describe the art style, but
Ren and Stimpy was amazing.
but like it was very like old and grainy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
like,
from the early 90s.
Yeah. And so and the voice acting, like was it how it's all like breathy and airy?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
And
feel about Nicola
like for me, because I was in that like state, like so sleep deprived and tripping out, and then like the whole like just the vibe of that show, I was kind of just like, what is this? I was just like, I felt like I was in like some like I felt like I transcended the physical realm.
Well, I'm trying to remember whatever Nickelodeon shows I used to watch. SpongeBob was a big one.
SpongeBob's great.
Cat Dog. But the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob were great. The rest, they're good, but they're not great.
Yeah. Although I really like season 5.
I don't know, season 2 was really good, I thought. What else? Ren and Stimpy was great. Cat Dog, Hey Arnold. What else?
Invader Zim.
Oh, mate, Invader Zim. That's my favourite Nickelodeon show.
You sure?
Fuck all of them. Invader Zim was so good.
Above SpongeBob?
Easily. I love Invader Zim.
I suppose that SpongeBob wasn't... Actually, how many episodes can you remember of Invader Zim?
They're all kind of like merged into one.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like one long episode if you watch it all, and it's so good. Oh, mate.
Yeah, see, for me, I judge a show, like, I pick my favourite shows based on how many episodes I can remember individually.
I remember a lot of SpongeBob episodes just for the certain memes.
SpongeGar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
And what else was there? Cat Scratch. I love Cat Scratch.
Yeah.
And Avatar: Last Airbender.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yes. Avatar was also really good.
Technically, if we're going by actual quality, that's probably the best one.
How do you mean quality?
Like,
production-wise?
storyline, yeah, production-wise, pretty much. That's probably the best.
Yeah, I'd have to say.
Like,
Oh
mate.
man, I actually kind of really want to watch all of Avatar again.
Same, actually. I want to watch all that than Legend of Korra, because Legend of Korra was so good.
Yeah, I started Legend of Korra with Rose, but I fell asleep during the first episode, and like I just can't be bothered watching it. But now we're watching Supernatural together, so.
Oh, mate, Supernatural's good. I like Supernatural. I started rewatching it. I'm on season 2. Good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go on TV series now, aren't we? I want to watch Criminal Minds.
No TV shows. There's no TV shows that are worth talking. Well, there is ones that are worth talking about, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah. Do you want to add a quick topic on something?
What do you have in mind?
Can I just talk about Suicide Squad quickly?
Sure.
All right. I want to say it wasn't as bad as the critics were saying. It wasn't as bad as the critics were saying.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. I liked it. I was able to sit through it and enjoy it all. It's just
Harley and Joker were romanticized too much.
It really annoys me. Like, it really annoys me. I'm not even a huge comic fan, but I know that they've romanticized it and everyone's just like, oh my god, I want to be like them. It's like, oh, you want to be fucking insane and have Stockholm syndrome and be a wife beater?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good. Go on. Go do it.
Goals!
Just move to Texas. You got it, mate.
Or become emo.
Yeah, either or either, really.
Become a 15-year-old emo girl dating a 20-year-old emo dude.
Sounds like some of the girls from our school.
Yeah. But,
That's bad.
Oh, I was going to say something. Oh, I had another topic.
Yeah, shoot.
But, I just want to expand on that, Actually, no, I don't want to expand on the Suicide Squad because I got nothing to say. Yeah, me and the fam bam,
Yeah.
we went to, the Fremantle Art Gallery.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Fremantle Art Museum, also known as the most haunted place in WA.
Yeah.
Well, we went there because we wanted to see, if we could find any spoopiness. Turns out that the most haunted parts are all upstairs, and you can't get there in the daytime. Like it's off limits to anyone but staff and students.
Yeah.
So that was a bit shit. But while I was walking around the gallery, I realized something. I had a moment of clarity.
Clarity.
I'm so glad I dropped art ATAR. Like, oh my god, like the exhibition that was there was pretty cool. Like what it was is like it was a bunch of like PVC piping just all through. And there were cameras set up all through the rooms. And you'd walk through all this piping, and there's just letters scrambled along the pipes. And when you get to the end of it, there's like I think it was like 8 projectors projecting onto the room, and all the cameras have the pipes lined up so it actually shows all the messages, and it's the coolest thing.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I dig that.
But it made me realize that I'm so glad I dropped ATAR art because like a lot of the stuff that we were doing was just so pretentious.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate art and creativity, but when people try to make me feel like I'm a lesser human being just because I don't see what they see, that's when I just get annoyed. And that's why I hate art. Like, we have a similar problem with music where there's genre elitism, and I was kind of like that at one stage.
Oh yeah, don't I was too. I think anyone who's been really into music has been like that at one point, and then they kind of like grew up and got over it.
Yeah, like now I have a much more objective music taste, but
yeah, I used to be very, if you thought my music was shit, you're a dumb cunt, and then, it was all hip hop, best thing ever. Now I listen to pretty much anything. I just like I'd listen to what I like.
Yeah,
and it's no longer just this and that. It's literally whatever I like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think the reason we have genre elitism, mostly at a younger age, is because I think taste and maturity. This is super like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's not cringe, but like I'm trying to sound super knowledgeable. But like, what I mean is like, the whole taste and maturity thing goes hand in hand. Like, you don't know what you fully like. No, actually, no. You know what you like, you just don't know why you like it until a certain age. Like, that's what I found. Like, I liked Bass Hunter. I liked Blink. Like, in year 8, I liked Bass Hunter, Blink, and I liked some pop music. And I couldn't figure out why. And then I started listening to Blink and Angels and Airwaves, in late year 9, early year 10. And I figured out that it's not... And then, of course, I had my metal phase. And it wasn't just because I liked the music, but the reason I liked it was because the melodies sounded nice.
Yeah.
Or it had a good groove. And that's why I liked a lot of Slipknot stuff, because the grooves were just awesome. And that's why I'm starting to get into jazz a fair bit. Like,
I love jazz.
Songs like Take 5 by Dave Brubeck, or more recently like Blue Rondo a la Turk. It's, oh my god, like, and odd time signatures are just starting to become really interesting to me. But, yeah, so That's the thing. But
I used to. Sorry, interrupt. You.
oh no, well you're gonna continue the music thing. I was gonna transition back to
Oh, okay.
art. So you say your thing first.
I just want to quickly say, I remember like year 9 when I was listening nothing but hip hop and shit. I was very much like if you know that Panda song by Designer.
No.
You know Panda Panda Panda.
Nope.
I get broads in Atlanta.
No, panda, panda, panda to your audience. No.
But you know what I mean. I get broads in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one. If that had came out in year 9, I would have hated it. I fucking love that song.
Mm.
It's catchy as shit, and I can just bump my head to it. I like it. Yeah, I like that.
You know I'm actually surprised we became friends at all, because
Okay.
no, but like think about it like this: when we became friends initially, we were elitists of our own genres that conflicted, like
Yeah.
at every step of the way. Like you were super into rap and hip hop, I was super into like punk and metal at the time, and usually those conflict. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, actually, it is that. I think it's because we didn't really bond over music, did we?
Yeah.
Oh no, we did actually. We did.
I got you into Blink.
Yeah, you sent me that Blink 182 song. Or is it Dysentery Gary? You sent me that
Dysentery
one.
Gary.
Yeah, and I loved it, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into that, because I don't think it was I hated other genres. It was just I thought
You just didn't know of any good songs.
no. I feel like it was more. I just thought, oh, if you don't think hip hop's good, then you're an idiot,
Yeah.
or whatever. And I got really offended when people say it wasn't good or they didn't like it. No, I'm just like, I don't care.
Actually,
I get fucked
I
with.
think that's another reason why we bonded, because I'm just remembering I had my little hip hop phase in year 8.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh man, that was so bad.
Oh mate, no, you had a hip hop phase. You listened to Kirsten 360. That's not a hip hop phase. That's an Aussie rap phase, kinda.
Well, I was listening to Tupac and
Tupac.
Tupac, how you pronounce it.
Thank you. 2 Parkers. Nah, keep on.
Yeah, that was in like end of year 7, leaning towards early year 8. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird how music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to transition that back into the whole art thing. Like, that was like a 10-minute, no, like a 5-6 minute tangent about how like elitism in music is. Yeah, I was comparing that to the whole pretentiousness of art. How there are these critics and stuff that say what they basically act like you're inferior if you don't understand what they claim to see or feel from art.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of annoying. It's also annoying when people are like, when you're like, oh, this is the meaning I get from it, and it's like, no,
That's wrong.
It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to take whatever I want out of this.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole point of it.
It's like, I get that, the geometry and the face and the symmetry of the eyeballs and eyebrows, but I like it because it looks cool. I don't care about analyzing every single detail of it. I just like the way it looks.
Pretty much. How are we going for
time? We're at half an hour, but I don't give a shit.
Nah, we should stop. We said half an hour.
We did, but there are people that listen to the whole things, and I always put time markers in.
Yeah.
So
sure.
It's up to people.
What's the exact time?
29 minutes and 4 seconds.
All right, we'll stop at 35 minutes. Okay.
Sure, depending on how we go with the next topic.
All right, 35 minutes max 40.
Yep. So wasn't there another topic you wanted to bring up?
Oh, that's the only one. Those are the only ones I wanted to talk about, I think. I mean, there's nothing else I can think of. Anything you wanted to bring up?
Not really.
Let me have a think. Let me have a think.
Go on, have a think. Go on, mate. Go on. Yeah, buddy.
I would like to give a review of Aqua in Perth. It's fucking mint. I'd recommend it.
Aqua as in...
The aquarium as an
Oh,
activist.
yes! I love aquariums.
I went there yesterday. It's pretty good. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Wait, yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I read your Snapchat story and thought it was today.
Nah. Yesterday. I had work today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you want to end the podcast now then?
um,
Because we've got nothing else to really talk about for it.
no, I want to talk about Pokemon Go.
Okay, go on. Go.
So, yep, level 9 now, guys. Actually, if you're still watching this up until this point, leave a comment if you play it and what level you are, just so I can feel better about myself.
Or worse about yourself.
Or worse about myself.
Please make it feel worse about himself.
not being as skilled or having a life, one of the two. But either way, yeah, we're gonna leave it there. There's nothing else we can talk about for this episode. So, if you want to show some support, leave a like or a comment. If you want to follow, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, which it's the only place to watch it, you can either subscribe to us for updates, but YouTube's notification system is kind of, yeah, it's weird. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description to our Facebook page, and if you follow us there, you'll get updates before and after a podcast goes up.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, cheers for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See ya, my meanies.
Well, bye.